Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to YNA Mental Health. My name is Sina, and I'm here with
Ashton.
And he has the spotlight. So, Ashton, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got to promote.
So, again, my name's Ashton. I am 26 years old, and I've been bodybuilding for about 9 years now. Wow. And then I ended up, or how I got into bodybuilding was my junior year of high school, our summer camp for our football team. I ended up tearing my ACL, MCL, meniscus. So then I had to go through the off season, and all I could do was work out. And since then, it's been a snowball effect. And 9 years later, here I am today. And my Instagram is @Ashton Bracy. Super simple. If you want to reach me, I'm also a trainer. Just go ahead and slide into the DMs.
Let's get started. So, Ashton, the first question that we got to ask you is, what does mental health mean to you, and how do you take care of yours?
So, mental health to me is essentially an individual's emotional maturity and an individual's ability to direct their emotions, whatever they may be feeling, whether it's good or bad, into the direction that it needs to go. And obviously, for most people, that's going to be into peace and then clarity.
Right. This plays a really important part to really understanding how you can mature. Is there anything that you did when you were challenged in emotional maturity that helped you get over the hump? So like that could help you take care of your mental health?
So that's an easy one for me. And it really started about 6 years ago was my relationship with Jesus Christ, first and foremost, okay? For me, that was my biggest thing.
Yeah.
But again, hopping into the gym was definitely a game changer for me. It gave me somewhere to direct my energy, something else to think about and focus on, right?
Yeah.
But then obviously like a lot of self-reflecting, and then, you go through like the YouTube videos, how to like gain or how, like motivational shit, all kinds of stuff, how to gain more confidence and this and that. I'm 26 now.
Yeah.
So about 6 years ago is when I really started to progress and change the way I was thinking, the way I was acting, my confidence, build myself up on an emotional level.
So during your journey with bodybuilding, what have been some positive and negative things that mental health-wise have, come to affect you or change you personally?
Obviously, everybody goes through their ups and downs, especially when it comes to the gym. Now, again, like I was touching base on earlier, it comes down to an individual's mental maturity, right, and emotional maturity. And it also comes down to an individual's like self-confidence, right? Now, for me, that's something I've had to evolve into. It wasn't always there from the very beginning, but the gym has definitely helped me out. Now, I was never one of those people who would look at somebody and like who has a great physique, right, and then look down on myself because I wasn't there yet. But I would always use them as motivation, right? They're a huge, major point of motivation for me. Now, body dysmorphia, like as a bodybuilder, I've been doing it for 9 years now, right? I definitely have my moments often where I'm like, okay, I'm not big enough, I'm not lean enough, I'm not this enough, or this body part is like lacking, so on and so forth. But again, it's never to a point where now I'm like being impacted negatively from it. If anything, it pushes me. I guess you could say it's one of those thorns in your flesh, because that's what, for me at least, me personally, keeps me going, keeps me working out, keeps me training hard, right? I guess if I were to, or most people, if you hit a point where you're like, wow, I made it, I did it, then you probably will get complacent and stuff. So again, for me, more it's their major things that keep me going, right? Keep me pushing forward. It's never been a negative for me, right? Now, granted, when you look a certain type of way, there's a point where like you think, okay, I don't look big enough or this or that, where it's kind of like, okay, dude, but I guess as long as it's not impacting you negatively, then
yeah, I definitely agree.
Are you closer or further from a positive body image than before you started?
I am definitely closer to a positive body image than when I first started. For me, I was really able to focus on the hunger and the growth aspect, right? I really just wanted to get better and better. The comparison thing wasn't really there for me in a negative way, so I was able to like realize and understand that I needed to be patient, right?
Yeah.
And with that patience comes that mental fortitude of knowing that I have to do the same work day in and day out, right?
Yeah, clock in and clock out.
Clock in and clock out. I might not see the results right away,
right,
but I do understand that eventually I will get to where I want to go. I gain that patience through my spirituality. My spirituality plays a major role in keeping me at a point where I can keep going, but then also that hunger, right? If you're hungry enough for something, you're going to keep going after it and keep going after it and keep going after it. And I wanted the results bad, you know. I knew where I was headed. I had a focal point on where I wanted to go. So that hunger, that just made me keep going and going and going.
So you're a coach yourself now. You know, you also compete on stage, and that really shows like how far you've had to come. You know, you said you've been working out 9-10 years, and that's, you know, a long time to have to get to a point to where you want to be. And so for all the new people out there, how do you coach people, not just in the gym or what to eat, but also just as much as importance as those things, their mental health, especially in the gym, because mentally that sets you up for failure if you're not there mentally.
That question can go in a lot of different ways. And again, it's going to vary from person to person, right? Everybody's going to go through their own process and their own journey, which is going to bring different obstacles and ways that people are going to have to deal with certain things and help them. It's going to have to help them grow mentally, right? The main thing I would say to try to focus on is just not to compare yourself. And then understand that even the person that you look up to the most when it comes to this fitness thing, understand that they didn't just jump into the gym and then the next day they looked sick, right? They looked amazing. It's a process. You have to get to a point of understanding and realizing that it is a process and it's going to take some time. But if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? But the consistency that's going to come along with transforming your body is also going to start transforming your mind. You're going to grow in a lot of different ways. What I would say to kind of help essentially speed up your journey, I know that wasn't really part of the question, but it will. But if you're seeing results quicker, essentially you're going to be thinking a little bit better about the process, right? Follow people that you look up to and stay consistent on their videos, do their workouts, you know. It's going to help you grow. You'll learn much, much quicker, much faster. And you're not just going to be wandering around doing a bunch of random shit that's getting you nowhere, because at the end of the day, when people do that, that's when people don't see the results they want to see. And that's definitely going to take a toll on the mental health, right? So, yeah, just understand and realize that it's a process. You can't get caught in that comparison trap, because that's exactly what it is. It's a trap, and it'll have you feeling like shit about yourself.
In a way where you say, let's say you just started at the gym, you know, you work out a week, you don't see much. You work out 3 months, you start seeing a little something, you know, you consistently. You work out for a year, that's when you really start to see something. In a mindset sort of way where you're building that determination, that, you know, patience, that consistency, what comes quicker? You know, is the development of the physical body itself come quicker to where you can see results, or does that mentality come quicker? Okay. Or the patience to build that mentality? You know, like which one takes longer?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. The first thing that's going to come is going to be the physical results, right? You're going to see your strength gains first, right? But that aside, it's definitely going to be the physical attributes that are changing that are going to come much quicker than the mental. Again, it's going to be one of those things that's a process that everybody goes through at their own pace, through their own lives, you know, and all of that. But yeah, it's definitely going to be the physical that you're going to see changing first. Understand that, and as you continue to progress, you will, you know, and go through life. Yeah, but that mentality will come, but take that with a grain of salt. It's all about how you are taking things in and processing certain things, right? You can be that person who stays stuck, right? Or you can be that person who chooses evolving and growing as a choice. Otherwise, you stay stuck, right? So yeah, the physical comes, then the mental comes. Naturally, you're going to get a little bit of the mental, the confidence that comes, like, wow, my body's changed, I'm getting stronger, this and that, right? But on a much, much deeper level, it's going to be you noticing what it is that makes you potentially feel a type of way, whether it's positive or negative, right? And then understanding how it makes you feel, and then going even deeper than that and understanding where does that emotion come from.
So, Ashton, I know during this whole interview you've talking a lot about your spirituality, and it means a lot to you, which is really powerful. So I got to ask you, where did it all start?
So when I was 20 years old, I'm 26 now, I went through this rough patch, and then that's where I can say that God really made himself known in my life. Since then, I can honestly say that me as a individual, my mental, emotional state, has completely made a major shift. There's a lot of work to be done. Now, I can definitely say just the consistency of staying in his presence, if you will, and him giving me direction, whether it be through sermons and things of that nature, and then sticking with what I knew to be the right direction based off of what I felt that he was giving me.
Could you describe this emotion inside of you? Was it more of like a explosion? Was it more of like a light? Was it more of like a path? Was it like a showing of direction?
Well, first and foremost, it was almost like a lot of weight lifted off my shoulders, right? Yeah. And then I also felt like I wasn't alone anymore. So that, of course, helps. You're not alone, right? You're not alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. And for me, that was a major, major driving factor behind even choosing to make changes and go in the direction, I guess you could say, I felt that I was being led, right? And clearly I was being led the right direction, because who I am mentally and emotionally is light years away. And like there's a major, major, major difference, black and white difference from who I was then. Again, I'm 26 now, and that all happened at age of 20.
All right, Ashton, we're at the end of your spotlight, and we just got to ask you one last question. Would you like to give any advice or anything you would like to promote?
So I would like to end this off here saying, 1, don't get caught up in that comparison battle. It's a trap. 2, if you're new to the gym, go ahead and track all of your workouts and keep everything the same in the first 2 to 3 months. That way you can build a solid foundation. And then 3, follow people that you look up to that have solid physiques that actually look like they know what they're talking about, and then copy their workouts, and it just keep everything nice and simple for you right off the bat. And then I would say check out my Instagram. I got a fitness page rolling, definitely more content to come. It's at Ashton Bracy, which is just my name. And that's pretty much all I got for you.
Ashton, thank you so much for coming on to YNA Mental Health. We really appreciate the advice you give, and we just want to remind everybody out there, please, please, please remember, you are not alone. We'll catch you on the next episode.